Hello everyone and welcome back to Tennis Time. So in this video I'm going to reveal the number 11th match on the list of the 20 greatest matches of all time. But before that, a quick announcement. Probably you've heard it already. ATP and WTA tours are resuming in the middle of August. Washington in the USA, Cincinnati and the US Open are supposed to be taking place. Hopefully the recent events in the Adria Tour will not deter the scheduled return of the ATP Tour. Let's hope they can make everything work and keep safety protocols as they should. And in case that happens, I'm going to return and cover basically live tennis. But until then, let's see which match managed to get on the 11th spot on the 20 greatest matches of all time since 1977. So the match I've chosen for this one is the 2015 French Open final between Stan Wawrinka and Novak Djokovic. So some of you might be a little bit surprised why this match is so high up on the list. Well, actually, in my view, the 2015 season alongside the 2011 one have been Djokovic's best seasons overall. I think maybe the 2015 was even more solid and continuous than the 2011 one. In both years, he's won incredibly lots of matches, lots of titles and big titles. Throughout the 2015 season, he was even more consistent, I would say. He's won 11 titles in that year. He's won 3 Grand Slam titles. He's won next to that the Masters title in Paris, Shanghai, Rome, Monte Carlo, Miami, and Indian Wells. So it's incredibly impressive. Next to that, he's won the ATP Finals and Beijing as well. And imagine, he's played 4 Grand Slam finals and he's won 3 of them. Just looking at it like that, it's a fantastic achievement, but given the fact that he was playing Stan Wawrinka was at the time a dangerous player and somebody who's won a Grand Slam before the 2014 Australian Open, where he has beaten Djokovic in the quarterfinals and he's beaten Nadal in the final. Nadal, who got injured basically after the first set and was a little bit limpy toward the end of the match, so you could say, okay, Stan won, but Nadal wasn't at 100%. But this time, Stan was the guy who really had a lot to prove. Many times it happens that great players, just like Stan or Andy Murray, come out on the court, play a fantastic match, but they still come out second best, and the world number one or the more dominant player wins. We see it many times that the players who become the greatest, like in the 90s, it was Sampras and then later Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic himself. They know how to turn their game on, play their best games when it really matters the most. And to be honest, everybody would have said Stan has a chance, but Djokovic was ultimately the favorite to win this title, and if he would have done so, he most probably would have bagged the Grand Slam, something that nobody's done since 1969 when Rod Laver has completed it for the second time in his career. So why I've put this match so high up on the list is because of the magnitude of it. And next to that, it was a fantastic match. If you look at the first set, which Djokovic has won, incidentally, it was a fantastic opening set, a great contest, and you know, when such a fantastic player like Djokovic gets on the roll and wins the first set, then it's difficult. And it was very competitive throughout the whole second set. Stan was serving first, and he's broken Djokovic when Djokovic was serving 4-5 down, and he was trying to make it 5-all, but he lost his serve. And by this time, Djokovic won the first set 6-4, Stan won the second set 6-4 as well. There were only just 2 breaks in the entire match. A little bit unusual on clay, but nonetheless, great contest. And in the third set, that was the point when things really turned, because Stan managed to break through in the middle of the third set, and he was playing phenomenal tennis. We all know that Stan has a wonderful backhand, and it can be phenomenal at times. He can hit winners from unimaginable positions. But he wasn't just hitting his backhand incredibly well, he was playing with his forehand so strongly. He was going for so many shots. He's made something like 58 winners in total in the entirety of the four set match. Only 12 of those were on his backhand side. But interestingly enough, 7 of those 12 backhand winners came all in the fourth set. But going back to the end of the third set, you really had the impression that Stan was gaining on Djokovic, he was getting on top of him, he was 2-1 up. Djokovic knew he had to turn things around, otherwise it was curtains for him, and he did. He's broken early in the fourth set. That was only the second break Djokovic managed to carve out in the entirety of that match. Up until to that point, he was 3-1 up in the fourth. We were thinking, or maybe people were even hoping we would get a fifth set. But Stan has broken back. It was 3-all. Stan was serving. It was love 40. So you thought, okay, Djokovic lost the momentum for a little bit, but he's going to gain it back, he's going to get it back. But no, Stan has managed to still serve from love 40 down. They went on without further breaks till 4-all when Djokovic was serving, and Djokovic has lost his serve. It's a very tight game. Fought hard at Stan again with his backhand, made a difference. He's hit winners from impossible angles again. And it was a tough final game, but Stan did serve it out, so that was the progression of the match. It took only 3 hours and 12 minutes. It was a very hard fought match with fantastic rallies, really good clay court tennis, and fantastic winners. Really enjoyable match to watch. I would recommend it to anybody. I'm putting the link into the description below, so please feel free to check out the highlights or the entire match if you like. Please let me know what you think. Did you enjoy the match? In case you watched it, you didn't, please let me know. One of the other reasons, because I felt this is so massive for Djokovic as a chance to win a Grand Slam, because it's true that Federer's played all 4 Slam finals many times in a year. He's done it in 2006, he's done it in 2007, and in 2009 as well. And 6 and 7 were probably his best years, in the sense that he could have won all 4 and he could have had the Grand Slam. But in 2006 and 7, he's played Nadal in the French Open final. And even though in 2006 he was the world number 1, 2007 he wasn't the world number 1, but Nadal is Nadal, and Nadal was Nadal even in 2006, and that's why he's been the French Open champion. And in 2015, Djokovic has played Nadal in the quarters, and he's beaten him in straight sets. Also true that 6 times prior to that, he's lost to Nadal in the French Open. So it was an incredibly big milestone for him to reach, and next to Robin Söderling, he was the only guy to beat Nadal at the French Open up until to that point, and that's true even up until today. So just a little bit of context for you to understand why I think this was such an incredibly big chance for Djokovic to bag the Grand Slam and make it so incredibly significant and distance himself from anybody in that category of Djokovic, Nadal, Federer in this category, to win the Slam, because the Grand Slam, the calendar Grand Slam, because the other two didn't do it. But he didn't do it either because of a super inspired Stan Wawrinka, and congratulations to him for that. Thanks for watching, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.